Hey doc, running a practice is hard, and if you're drowning, it's probably because you're wearing too many hats. A hat is the role that you're playing in the practice, and it's one thing when you started the practice wearing all of these hats, but if you've been in practice for a while and you're still wearing all the hats, we have got to buy back your time. And the way that we buy back your time is with team. But if you've had bad experiences with team members, you might be stuck in a rut of hiring B players. You see, hiring an A player is transformational to your practice, and we have got to shift your focus of knowing how to actually attract and hire A players. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So buckle up, here we go. All right, in this first section, I want to define what a B player is, because if you understand what they are, then you can spot them from a mile away and know that this isn't helping you progress your practice. But I've got to give you a disclaimer before I go on, because whether it's an A player or a B player, if you don't hire, onboard, train, and support that team member properly, you can actually turn an A player off and they're going to leave your practice pretty quickly. So I've got to make sure that your leadership is skyrocketing in its skill and development, and that's why we actually have a leadership key to help support you in putting in the data-driven operating system, which is life-changing for our practices. Now let's talk about a B player. A B player is one of those that, they show up on time, they do their work, but they don't really look to go that extra mile. They're not looking at the other team members like, hey, how can I support you in the success of your role? They're very kind of selfish-minded, I hate to say, narrow-minded, and just completing their specific task that you told them to do. And if you didn't show them, there's really no curiosity of what else could I be doing in this role? How else can I produce the product that I was hired to produce? How can I support this organization to grow and reach higher levels? Like a B player doesn't even think that way. They're just there to get their work done. The second thing is they don't approach their work curiously. They don't look at the data. They don't go into how can I support the systems that I'm involved in, whether they're upstream systems or downstream systems. The next thing that a B player does is they don't applaud the success of the other team. In fact, when they see the success of another team, they actually feel smaller. They feel like they're not as good. They compare themselves. And that is not the mindset that you want for an employee. You want them thinking abundantly. You want them thinking supportively. Another thing that a B player does is they get really caught up in just the tactics. They have a really difficult time shifting to thinking strategically. Like, I understand how to schedule an appointment. I understand how to answer a phone. But what can I do strategically to help increase my effectiveness in scheduling appointments? This is the way an A player thinks is, okay, I understand my tactics, but I want to get into the strategy. Like, what's the game plan? What types of patients should I be putting where on the schedule? Strategic thinking is the definition of an A player, and B players they get just stuck on the tactics day after day after day. And that's gonna, again, keep your practice very small. So shifting from a B player to an A player, this is really where I want you to attract those mindset team members, which means you have to have that mindset. I don't want you getting caught up in the tactics. I don't want you getting caught up on the success of others, making you feel small. I want you to be a part of a community where you feel empowered, where others' success show you the way, right? Because success can be patterned. Success is mirrored. And that's what the data-driven practice is all about. I want you to see team members that problem solve. They easily switch to the strategic mind. They champion their other team members. Now, before I go on to step 2 of attracting A players into your life, if you want a guide that's going to help you understand the data that you should be tracking in your practice, hey, come join our free Facebook group. When you join the group, the Data-Driven Practice, you automatically get our guide, which is the Sentinel guide to helping you know what data to track in your practice to help A players shine and B players go work for somebody else. So just click the link below and come join our community, the Data-Driven Practice free Facebook group. So let me share with you how an A player will change your life, because when I started putting these in place into my practice, I had to pay a little more, but the outcome, the output was night and day different. When an A player came into our practice, we sat down with them and we showed them the system that they would own, that they would become the driver of. When they understood that system, we went through the process of defining the product of that system. For example, there's actually two systems of the front desk. There's a front desk new patient system and a front desk established patient system. Well, what is the product of the front desk established patient system? And this is a patient who shows up for their appointments, maintains agreements, whether that's their appointment frequency or payment agreements, and they refer their family and friends. Like, that's the product we want to create at the front desk. Now, with that lens, that team member, that A player is looking at all the tactics of how to produce that, but they're also very excited about the strategy. How should they talk to these patients? What are we doing upstream to help shape them into this type of a patient? Oh man, when you have a team member that's a system driver, they understand the product of the system, they're showing up to work to produce more of that product, that's a very different mindset than a B player. Now, this team member also shows up to Daily Huddle with energy, excitement to support the team. They come to the team meeting ready to report their KPI, their metrics, right, around the product which they're responsible for, because they are the very value that they're delivering for the practice. A players get this, and they're there to win. They love to win. This then leads to how they show up for what we call performance reviews. Performance reviews are done every 90 days in the first year of their employment, and then after that, every 6 months. Well, there's a document that they get to fill out, which they go through, and it understands their thought process, their mindset, and approaching their role in your practice. Are they happy in producing the product that they're doing? Do they feel challenged? Do they feel satisfied with their work? A players will always seek to find joy in their work. So if they're not finding joy in their work, they might be looking elsewhere at other areas to work. And we found a study, according to Gallup, that 81% of employees would rather have joy in their work over a raise in their paycheck. They just wanted to work with team that they were connected with, better culture, a better boss that they could connect with and challenge them, develop them into better team members. So if you want to truly give back to your team and grow your practice, just focus on that, developing A players, and you will find more joy in your work. So guys, I am here to support you, and if you can help me support this channel, we will reach more chiropractors in our community. And you can do that by liking this channel and subscribing, and also turning on the notifications so that you can be notified every time we drop a new video onto this channel to help support your personal development and help you fulfill the mission and passion and purpose of your practice. All right, guys, I saved the best tip for last, and that is, if A players are so great, how in the world do I attract them? So this is the mistake most of you guys are making with your ads and attracting A players, is you're just posting your hourly rate. You're not really creating an ad that defines the value that this position is going to receive for being a part of your team. Think about this for a second. When you get a job offer, it's not just the hourly rate that they're excited about. It's understanding what PTO you pay in the practice. What benefits do they get working for you? Think about all the amazing healthcare that you're providing for these employees that a lot of the times you're not even recognizing that value. You're just giving it away without them understanding the value of them receiving that. Think about the personal development that you're going to give them in training, helping them develop their skills, and then of course the hourly rate. When you put all of these things together and apply a value number to each one over a year's time, you now are actually providing way more value than just the hourly rate. So when you put this out in an ad, we're putting that the value of this job offer is between this number and that number, and the between is the range of the value that they're getting. And again, you can put in there a value of a bonus system that they can qualify for in working with your practice. You see, A players don't want to be just tied to one number. They want to know that the harder they work, the more value they bring to your practice, the more value they're going to receive in exchange. And developing you as a boss and a business owner, a CEO of your practice, you've got to get great at building these job offers, these attracting the opportunity for A players to win working with you. Because I'm telling you, when they win, you win. And most importantly, your patients win. We get better care, we get more growth within the practice, less headaches for you, and it is the dream practice you have been wanting, you just haven't quite known how to put into place, and that is what the data-driven practice is all about. In fact, we are having an incredible live event in Cancun, Mexico, where you can come celebrate with us. Learn the systems that will set you free. You'll mastermind with our incredible 7-figure docs who are doing this. You'll be able to connect with them and see what's possible. We're gonna mastermind a little bit, we're gonna go play. We're gonna mastermind a little bit, we're gonna go play. This is an all-inclusive event that you have got to be a part of. So just comment below Paradise and we will connect with you. In fact, for faster results, just DM me on Facebook at .Cory and we will start the conversation. And who knows, maybe I will see you in Paradise.